Hello, everyone. I thought I'd give a brief overview of this new channel. This is firstly a place to stream discussions on books that I'm reading with a group. And the topics that we're covering in the discussions include subjects in economics, history, anthropology, politics, and environmental issues. I'm going to cover a few of the books that we've been reading in a moment, but if you're just interested in knowing what time the book club is and what to read, then here you go. Book clubs are going to be live streamed and are held on a weekly basis on Sundays at 7 p.m. European time, or GMT +1. And we're reading parts 1 and 2 of Ed Conway's Material World for this Sunday. There should be a scheduled book club already in the live stream channel if you want to see what time that is in your time zone. Also, I say weekly, but sometimes book clubs are canceled or we take a break. And I'll do my best to announce that ahead of time for you guys here as well. If you're interested in joining the discussion, then just follow the link in the description to our Discord community. You're welcome. And if not, otherwise feel free to follow the discussions here on YouTube. So, for a brief overview of the subjects we've covered in the past, let me give a few examples of the books we've read. One example is Debt, the First 5,000 Years by David Graeber, which covered a long history of the origins of money and debt in human societies. This was essentially a critique of economic theory from an anthropologist's perspective and gave a complete new perspective on the development of human civilization. Another book we covered was Power and Progress by Daron Acemoglu. This book covered a long history of technological progress compared side by side with human progress, posing the question, does technological progress ultimately improve the human condition or not? It came out on the side of largely no, historically at least. But it does not necessarily need to be that way. Acemoglu believes that technological progress can be guided in the correct direction. This examination was applied to the modern case, the contemporary case of the disruptive AI technology. A third example is Late Soviet Britain by Abby Innes. This was really a powerhouse of a book on economic philosophy. Innes takes a commonly accepted logic that the governing philosophy of the USSR and the Western governments, particularly the free market schools of the Western governments, that they are ideologically and functionally opposite in their governing philosophies, and she breaks down how in practice that they share much more in common than is usually understood to be the case. Both neoliberal and Soviet-style socialist governmental systems are rooted in a utopian belief that society can be governed through abstract economic models rather than acknowledging and managing real-world social complexity. The models that they rely on are described by Innes as closed system models, meaning that the desired state of affairs is one that is unchanging and perfect and hence utopian. So there you are. That should give you a good idea of the kinds of books and subjects that will be covered on this channel. It's pretty nonfiction based, although we have had a few novels sprinkled in here and there at times. And that does not in any way mean that we're limited to those subjects. So we could cover a book on anything really, a fantasy book or Hegel's philosophy. There's no hard set rules, just a general direction that we're going in. So the book we're currently reading and that we'll be discussing this Sunday, as previously said, is Material World by Ed Conway. And Material World examines the origins of 6 of the most common and fundamental materials that humans use, and without which there would be complete societal collapse. And it kind of observes them through the lens of both the climate catastrophe and from material improvement to human beings. The 6 materials are sand, salt, iron, copper, oil, and lithium. And so this Sunday, we've broken the book into 3 parts, and we'll be covering the first 2 materials, sand and salt. So that's a brief rundown of the channel at the moment. If I find time to make a video for the channel, I might publish a video on something I'm researching. But at the moment, there's no set plan for regular releases of video. It's just purely for the live streams at the moment. With that said, welcome, and I hope to see you around. Segui il tuo corso e lascia dire le genti. Yermat.